welcome if you're new to my channel. If not, welcome back. I was recently tagged by Courtney Reads a Lot in a newer, well, it's not new. She found this and she has the original creator tagged. I'm just going to link her video down below so you guys can go see that. But this is called the Birthstone Tag. Alright, the first month of the year is January, and January's birthstone is Garnet. The prompt for Garnet is name a book with the darkest / evilest character you can think of. I went through pretty much all my reads on Goodreads there was one book that I kind of thought about putting in this, but that was a book that I read pre-Christ, and I just don't want to be associated with that book, so I'm not going to say it. So the next one that I thought about was The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. The Lord Ruler, who is pretty much one of the most tyrannical leaders I've ever read about in a fictional world. He is definitely one of the most evil characters I've ever read. He rules over people and those that are deemed ska and don't have any allomancy to them are pretty much slaves to his empire, and he throws them in these mines. Like the criminals, he throws in these mines to get this type of metal that is very, very, what's the word? Basically, if you have all this metal, you have all the power. So there's that, and any kind of rebellion, he will just eliminate maybe a good 10 to 20 people just to keep others in line. So yes, he is probably one of the most evil that I've read in recent years. Again, I can think of a couple others, but I don't want to be associated with those books now that I am a Christian. For February, that is Amethyst, and this is name a book with regal qualities. Return of the King, Aragon. I mean, who better to talk about than Aragon, who is the ultimate book version of a good king. I was going to put the full, Lord of the Rings up, but I mostly want to focus on Aragon in the Return of the King. March is Aquamarine, and this is name a wishy-washy character, a character who is not strong or a follower. I kind of had a hard time really with this one because I'm like, ooh, no one's popping to my mind. I could probably go really deep and through a lot of my books, but again, nothing just was really pushing to my mind, except when I went through my Goodreads, there was one. Now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, there's another one. This wasn't originally the book that I chose for this prompt, but it really does fit now that I think about that. And that is Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Bella is such a wishy-washy kind of character, and I'm talking about the entire series, going back and forth between Jacob and Edward. I do own the entire series. I don't want to get all those books down. So that being said, this was not my original pick, but it just came to me. I'm like, oh, why didn't I think of that? The other book I had chosen, I will talk about, and that is Shattered Rose by T.L. Gray. Avery is probably one of my least favorite characters I've read about. I really did not like reading this person. She went from one extreme to the other extreme. She's definitely someone who, for starters, needed Jesus. That's who she got in the end. But at the same time, I don't know, I just did not like the character. She put her identity way too much in Jake, and then she had some other things happen. This is just a character I did not like. For the month of April, it is a diamond, so Diamond in the Rough, a book you love, but not well known. This is probably not going to be anyone's surprise if they've seen my channel, but this is all T. Bell. She does have another book in the works, but yes, I love her writing. Obviously, there's 3 books in this stack that I have not read, but I have faith in T. Bell. Books I'm going to talk about, I have not read, technically. What do I mean by that? I have started reading them, but I was not in the right mood for them, and I fell in love with the writing. But first one is Once I Know by Victoria Lynn. This follows Violet, and she finds a king's guardsman who has amnesia. I almost said amosthesia. What is amosthesia? Anyway, he has amnesia and she helps him out. This is non-magical fantasy, so if you're into that, this book is for you. Mammoth, if you like treasure hunting and a mystery, this is for you. This gives me more Goonie vibes, but it meets Indiana Jones. He says, when he promotes this, Hardy Boys meets Indiana Jones. Well, I've never read the Hardy Boys, but I definitely got Goonies feelings from this, and also that cover is just, you know, gorgeous. So the next one is Where Darkness Dwells by Andrea Renee. I have started this, and this one, the writing is so beautiful, but again, I was just not in the right headspace for either of these 3 books, but they are on my list for this year. Actually, can I just state that as indie authors in general? I want to know more indie authors, so if you have a favorite indie author, name them down below. The month of May is an emerald. Name 2 characters who balance each other. So, this was another one. I had to kind of find it, if I can talk, kind of had to do a big search on, but the couple that kept coming to mind while I was searching was Georgia and Grayson from Letters of Faith. They balance each other out so well, and they can just, from memory, they can read each other perfectly. They know, kind of like body language. Wow, that took me forever to figure out. They know each other's body language, so when one is super tense, the other will step in and kind of calm down situations and get them out. Georgia, also, we first meet her in Letters of Grace, and she is a little pit bull when it comes to Grayson and anyone who might try to use Grayson. Absolutely love her. She is such a little protector for Grayson, and Grayson is the same way for her. One of my top couples. Another book I could also put on here is one of my top couples for last year, and that is A River Between Us, Cora May and Ethan. these two are definitely enemies to lovers, but their growth definitely is just beautiful, and I love how they eventually balance each other out as well. June, which is my birth month, it is a pearl, and one of my favorite characters fits this prompt. It is name a character who is loyal to the end. The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, isn't in here. For some reason, The Hobbit's not wanting to fit back in here. Maybe I've just gotten the spines so worn out on these. Anyway, Lord of the Rings, Samwise Gamgee. Who is more loyal than Samwise Gamgee in anything? Okay, so he is loyal to the end, and can we all just admit that Samwise is the real hero? Frodo would not have made it without Sam. Though, can we also talk about how kind of wimpy movie Frodo is versus book Frodo? July is the ruby, and the prompt is name a book that made your blood boil. I have two. Moon. This was my third time trying to... No, sorry. I read it the first time in high school, tried rereading these in college, couldn't do it, tried rereading them. Since I turned 30, I got that far. And funny enough, my bookmark is, it says, I am thankful for good books. This is not a good book. I'm taking that out. But as you can see, the big red flags, and I have so many I didn't highlight anything. I underlined and I wrote things out. Like this one, I put, oh, shut up. I'm talking about Bella. These red flags are mostly Bella, and I think I just skipped one that went, ew. I kind of want to go back and reread my notes on this because apparently I raged. The second book is probably one you have not heard of, but if you have and was wondering about it, stay away. But it is called Serial Hottie by Kelly Oram. I read this due to Kindle Unlimited. I have read several other Kelly Oram's books, and after this last book, I decided I'm not reading any more Kelly Oram's books because, yeah, I never had a problem with them before. They were always kind of like 3 stars, but this one was just huge no. And in fact, I'm gonna bring out some parts of my review to talk to you guys about how much this made my blood boil. The romance is not romance, it's ick, it's disgusting, and yeah, the mystery part was great, and if she would have made the love interest the murderer, this book would have had 5 stars, but instead he's the love interest. And also at first we get a smart Heronian who thinks this guy is not right in his head, and then all of a sudden she does like a 180, and it really annoyed me. But here we go. The more Ellie gets to know Seth, the more she's convinced he's a psychopathic killer. Problem is, he's the sweetest psychopathic killer she's ever met. Not to mention, he's brutally hot. By the way, that is from the synopsis. That is not from the book. I'm going to spoil this, so if you don't want to know, I would definitely skip. But I'm going to save you guys a lot. So, this book features non-consensual touching and sexual battery. Okay? I found out that sexual harassment is not a thing unless you're in the workplace, when a law enforcement officer goes to assess. It is sexual battery / sexual assault, or the R word. But this takes place in a suburb of Detroit. Ellie is sad and bored because she is on her hockey team, and all of her three closest friends, which are all guys, are at a hockey camp that does not allow girls to go to it. So she is on the boys hockey team. And I wasn't really a fan of Ellie for the majority of the book. Let's just say that. I liked when she was being smart, but she's kind of judgmental and stupid. Yeah, I just read this part in my review. It says, again, I have no idea why I read this. I had anxiety when Seth hurt. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot he hurts the neighbor's dog. So that was the first red flag. And he is also the creepiest guy ever. So, if I remember right, Bruno, who is the neighbor's boxer, goes and like jumps on Ellie and kind of knocks her down on her butt. And this guy like goes like full rage against the dog. So Seth is pretty much the movie title Fatal Attraction kind of reminds me of Seth, only he's the author makes it where he's not fatal, but I think he needed to be fatal. And we can have a cautionary tale that hot guys are sometimes the creepiest and nastiest men out there. Okay. Just saying. The devil comes as or parades around as a prince of light, when really he's not. He's not going to show up to you in a red costume with horns and the little fork tail. No, he's going to come to you as something desirable. This book could have done that perfectly, but no. Mom and the dad made me mad, and the mom especially. So she says this: "You are a smart, beautiful young woman, Ellie," she said. "It was only a matter of time before boys started realizing that, and now that they are, you're going to have to learn to deal with it." It's not that guys are noticing her, it's that the dude is making her freaking uncomfortable. And also her mom forces her on a date. Like, are you kidding me? She forces her to date this guy. And also, the first date that she forces them on is to go and pick out Ellie's first car. Why would you want a complete, total strange teenager to go with your teenage daughter to pick out her first car? That is something a parent needs to be there to know their kid is, one, not getting scammed, two, the kid can't technically buy the car by themselves. They're gonna need a parent with them. I mean, if you're a car salesman and a 16-year-old walks up to you and is like, "Oh, I want to buy that car," are you gonna take them seriously? You're not. This book, I gave it a 1 star. Normally, I try not to rate 1 stars because that's pretty harsh, but this book, in my opinion, deserved this harsh rating. August is Peridot? I don't know how to say this. I've never even heard of it before. But it is name a supporting character who you liked better than the main character. I could not find any book where I like the supporting character better than the main character. I think I may have had some at one point, but I think those are in books that I read before I came to Christ. And again, the month of September is Sapphire. Name a book that had a calming effect on you. Besides Lord of the Rings and Chronicles of Narnia, which I am needing to find in physical form, but the Bible. The Bible is really the only book that has a really good calming effect on me. October is Opal. Name a iridescent book. This can be a colorful or shiny cover, or name a quirky. Oh, I should stop recording these videos when I'm super tired. Name a quirky or colorful character. I have a somewhat shiny book. It's Carval. I would say this is iridescent. Would you guys? I mean, look at how shiny that cover is. I would say this cover fits perfectly for it. November is Topaz. Name a book with a character who rises to the top in a time of adversity. I mean, besides Lord of the Rings, besides The Hobbit. Hey guys, editing Jamie here. Kind of lost a little bit of footage, and I'm gonna switch the book on this particular month because I thought of a way better book than what I had originally said. But Jace from the Ilion Chronicles, to see him from the very beginning and how he was a slave in gladiator or gladiatorial, maybe is what you say, like competitions, and then how he just works his way up into the resistance, and yeah, just where he ends up, especially with Holden. That actually, I could say more than just one character rises in this series, but I definitely want to pinpoint Jace specifically. So I don't want to give too much away with his story because it goes over not just the first book, but throughout the 6 books. So that is my choice for this month. December, Blue Zircon? Never heard of this one either. It says, name a book with a friendship you want to be a part of. Oh, yes. I immediately thought of the siblings from Sugar Tree Romance. I absolutely loved their banter throughout the books, and so wanted to be a part of not only them, but like their little friend group. It's super adorable. Again, love the banter between the family. I know it says more of a friendship, but there is friendship between the family, and yeah, they were the ones that came to my mind first, so I just had to go with them. I am going to tag Whitney from Whitney's Reading Journey, Chrissy from Chrissy's Purple Library. I'm trying to think of who else to tag. Oh, Lucy from the Lucy Chronicles. I'm gonna go with those 3. For joining me for this video. If you guys want to do the tag, you know what, go ahead, use me to go ahead and do that tag. But I definitely am tagging those 3. Again, I need to stop recording these videos at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. I'm so sleepy. My brain is glitching, which I'm really glad this is the end of the video. So I will see you guys in the next one. I'm headed to bed. Bye!